o la tumba, libertad o con gloria morir. Orientales, la patria o la tumba, libertad o con gloria morir. Es el voto que el alma pronuncia y que hoy todos sabremos cumplir. Es el voto que el alma pronuncia y que hoy todos sabremos cumplir. Que sabremos cumplir. Es el voto que el alma pronuncia y que...
As you guys saw from the title of this video, this is going to get sticky. Now, I've always seen this stuff about the Uruguayan government. You know, there was this, I'm sure you guys have seen it on Instagram. In particular, there was like a meme going around of the Uruguayan prime minister, president, whichever the title is that he has, sitting in like a busy waiting room at a hospital because he specifically doesn't seek out special treatment from the medical system. He like donates all of his salary or whatever. He lives like a regular middle income for Uruguay, I guess, citizen. He doesn't use his office for corruption. And it's clear that he has put in some pretty stellar people in the courts as well. I mean, we talk about the courts in America and people don't necessarily agree with them. This is a very, very interesting story. So the Uruguayan government officials and Pfizer on Wednesday appeared in court after a judge gave them 48 hours to present detailed information on Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine while the court considers an injunction request to halt the COVID-19 vaccinations for children 5 and under. Judge Alejandro Recarey of the Administrative Litigation Tribunal used his inquisitorial power to demand the Uruguayan Ministry of Public Health, State Health Services Administrations, and the President's Office submit all information regarding the contracts for the purchase of the COVID-19 vaccines, including contractual information related to any clauses of civil indemnity or criminal impunity of the suppliers in the event of adverse effects. This is something that just does not exist in the United States or in Canada. There's like this thing about liability. That's why you can see things happen and people not be able to sue certain industries. According to the court order released on Saturday, Judge Recarey ordered Pfizer and the government officials to do the following. Now, this was his list of demands. This happened, I believe, yesterday. Yeah, this was yesterday, July 6th. So it's July 7th today. So this stuff is either going to come out today or tomorrow. But this is the list of what the Uruguayan judge asked for. Provide full and unredacted certified copies of each and every one of the purchase contracts, as well as any other related negotiation agreement of the so-called anti-vaccines that you have signed, own, or are simply within your reach. Explain whether these instruments contain clauses of civil indemnity or criminal impunity of the suppliers regarding the occurrence of adverse effects. Provide extensive detail about the biochemical composition of and supply to the national population, especially the one aimed at children. Explain if the different doses are distributed in batches or differential items. Clarify for what reason and based on what criteria each would be provided to different population levels, whether the drugs in each batch are diverse by their content, and how and for whom they would be distinguishable, as it turns out to be the real existence of different lots, doses of each requested expert examination. This is a lot. This judge is going off. Specify that it contains messenger RNA by explaining, if necessary, what that means. Explain what therapeutic or extra therapeutic consequences, adverse or not, may have for a person inoculated with it. Interesting. So it's like list everything that could possibly happen and the likelihood in which it could happen. It's very specific. It must be specified with regard to the latter in a negative hypothesis in terms of alleged damages. If there is indeed, with scientific rigor, the possible safety of a messenger, or if there is simply a lack of information on the point. So he wants them to specify what exactly they know about how everything has been working up to date so far to know if it's worth continuing. State is very specifically beyond what has been inquired. It is requested that it be said, if it is known to you or those labeled as they contain or may contain nanotechnological elements. What is that? Clarifying, if not, whether such a temperament would arise from an effective verification of its absence or from mere ignorance of the components of the referred substances. Certified whether the substances contained in the supplied to Uruguay as are experimental or not. That is, explain in full and detail whether they are approved by the FDA or an equivalent body according to the usual protocols, or if they have some other type of emergency permissions. In short, I like how the article lists all this stuff and then has the balls to tell me in short. Whatever. You guys are here for the reason this is just information overload going on right now, so let's keep it going. You must respond if you are aware that either the manufacturer, the supplier, or any academic or governmental body have admitted in any way whether or not this was a giant experiment. Interesting. So they just got to prove, they just got to show, doing this for YouTube. They just have to show their work, basically. The Uruguayan judge wants them to show their work. Present complete and up-to-date information that they have right now about everything that's happened over the since they started distributing it. Provide official figures that demonstrate negative and positive instances. Not bad. State whether studies have been carried out to explain the noticeable increases in death since March 2021. Provide information of the total number of deaths in Uruguay since the beginning of the pandemic. Demonstrate scientifically national and international studies that have been done to show that it's all basically, it's a lot of very specific details where they're pretty much the Uruguayan judge is requesting that the government and the pharmaceutical companies basically show their work. And he wants it officially handed over. He doesn't want, just a news story or for them to say, hey, this is what we did. He wants to actually see their work. This is like when you in grade 5 when you start taking math tests and it's everything show your work. So you have to divide, and it's 6, and then you put the thing like that, and then you put the number on top. You're like, it's 6 to 7. It's 1, and then carry the what? Basically, carry the 1 is what he's saying. I'll leave the link to this full article in the description. This is wild. It's a long article. And I've already spent all this time just going through that little section just to name the specifics of what they want. But that is what the Uruguayan judicial system is requesting. They've basically, for the lack of a better term, declared war on these people. Legal war. By saying, show your work. Interesting. How long until Alejandro Recarey ends up committing suicide? I know it's not funny, but come on. I don't know. The Uruguayan government's pretty good at it. They seem like they got their ducks in a row when it comes to their healthcare system. So hey, everything's on the up and up, then everything's on the up and up. If it's not on the up and up, then well, I think that that's revealing. But everything's fine. I don't know. I personally, I don't know why the Uruguayan judge would even question this, because everyone knows that this is all pretty straightforward stuff. Respect. You gotta respect the science. At the end of the day, this is all very unnecessary. Because the science is the science is the science is the science, and we can't have people out here questioning the science. How are you going to question what someone like Dr. Fauci says when he would know? It just doesn't make any sense to me that people would question any of this. I'm suspicious of them. These science deniers, this climate hoax people, these crazies who think that stuff, who just think that all these things are just some type of money laundering scheme. Because it's not like anyone's getting rich off of this stuff. It's just, this is all about the health and the safety of the citizens of each and every country. That's what the government does. That's what the governments always do. They always look out for the people first and themselves second. So I don't understand why the Uruguayan judge would even be making these types of requests. I think he needs to probably be investigated for some type of crazy, is there QAnon in Uruguay? Because he's probably it, based upon this request, this unnecessary request, this super hyper far right ideology that Judge Alejandro Recarey is spitting out here. And I think we all need to be a little skeptical of him and people like him, and just keep doing what we've been doing, which is following the science. Follow the science. Always follow the science. What is the science? The science is what the government has said the science is, which is follow the science. Forever and always. Kneel before Zod. Resistance is futile. Always give up. Always surrender. That was a good salute. That was a solid salute. Just a bah! Ba ba ba! Salute! Hail Hydra! See that? That's a subscription thing. That's a recommended video, and that's another recommended video. And the description, you got the link to this full article. Check it out yourself. Thanks for coming, and see you next time. Peace out. Yeah.